Hey my loves, welcome back to my crochet channel. My name is Sally and today I'll be showing you guys how to crochet this beanie that looks like it's knitted, and it's actually very simple and it's a very easy pattern. As you can see, the little V's really stand out, which makes it look knitted. So the reason why I didn't use front post double crochets is because the double crochet is a bigger stitch, and with just the half front post double crochet you can just really see the little V's more clear than if you were to use a front post double crochet, which is like a bigger stitch. So for this tutorial I'll be using the color Cafe Latte, and this is Redheart Super Saver yarn, but you guys could use any kind of medium weight yarn. I will also have a link down below if you want to stock up on Redheart yarn. So the other materials I will be needing is some scissors, a yarn needle to sew in my ends, and a skinny needle and thread for the pom-pom. And I will be using a size 8 crochet hook. So next I'm going to make a slip knot by wrapping the yarn around my finger twice. And then I will simply just pull the string that's on the left over the one that's on the right and do that twice. Okay, so next I'm just going to begin by chaining 3 chains, and this will count as our first half double crochet. So next I will wrap the yarn around my hook and go into the first chain that we made. Next I will just grab my tail and wrap it around the hook, creating a magic circle. Okay, so hold on to it with your finger, then pull through once and then yarn over and pull through all 3. So next we will just continue placing half double crochets until we end up with a total of 12 half double crochets. And we are beginning this beanie differently than the adult and the baby size beanies, because with those I began with 14 half double crochets. So I just wanted to point that out for you guys real quick, just because that's what worked out for me based on sizing. So next I'm just gonna count my stitches real quick just to make sure that I have a total of 12 half double crochets. And then I'm just gonna slip stitch into that second chain right there. So for row number 2, instead of going into the top of every stitch, we will be going around every post. And the way you do that is you insert your hook and you find the chain 2 where we began with, and you gotta make sure that the post is on top of the hook. Okay, so next you're just going to pull through once, and then we will just yarn over and pull through all 3, creating our first front post half double crochet. And remember, we will be placing our increase of 2 front post half double crochets around each stitch all the way around. Then we'll meet for row number 3. So next you will just slip stitch together and you don't need to chain 1 to begin. You can just yarn over and go into the next stitch. So for row number 3 I will just place 1 front post half double crochet around each stitch all the way around, and then we'll meet for row number 4. Gonna slip stitch together, and then for row number 4 I will just be placing 1 front post half double crochet around the first stitch, and then on every second stitch I will place my increase of 2 front post half double crochets, and that will be the pattern all the way around for this row. So it would be 1 and then 2, 1 and then 2, and so on. So for row number 5, I'm just going to place 1 front post half double crochet around each stitch, and I'm just going to do that all the way around. Then we'll meet for row number 6. Okay, so row number 6 will be our last row of increases, and we will just be placing 1 front post half double crochet into the first 2 stitches, and then we will place our increase on every 3rd stitch, and we will do this all the way around. I just want to show you guys real quickly how the back looks and how you can count it. So you count these little ridges, and as you can see, I have 6 rows. So there are 4 types of possible beanies that you can make with this pattern, and I will show you in a little bit, but for now, row number 7 all the way to the end of the beanie will just be repeat rows of 1 front post half double crochet around each stitch all the way around. So to make the regular beanie with no brim, you would put 1 front post half double crochet into each stitch for rows number 7 to 19. And then if you wanted to make the beanie with the brim, then you would go from rows 7 to 15. So this one right here is the kids slouchy beanie with brim, and to make this one you will just place 1 front post half double crochet for rows number 7 through 24. And if you want to make the slouchy beanie with no brim, then you can just go from rows 7 all the way to 28. To make the brim of the hat, I just did 1 front post half double crochet and then 1 back post double crochet, and I just alternated those 2. So as you can see, I inserted my hook from behind. I'm pulling out my string, and then I'm just going to yarn over and pull through all 3, and that's a back post half double crochet. So next I'm just going to do a front post half double crochet, and then again a back post half double crochet, and I did this all the way around for 4 rows, and then we'll meet for the next step. So to finish off the beanie, I just placed a front post single crochet all the way around the brim, and I did this just to eliminate the beanie from like fanning out at the ends, and also so that it could be a little bit more snug when you put it on. Oh, and if you want to make the beanie with the textured brim, you don't need to do this step, just because it doesn't need it. So to sew the pom-pom on, I just grabbed my needle and thread, and you gotta make sure it's a fine needle, because if you use the bigger needle, it won't go through the pom-pom. So once you have your thread through, you can go ahead and grab the 2 ends and tie a knot. And you can tie a knot twice so that the knot doesn't come out. And I just inserted my needle through. Okay, next I grabbed my pom-pom and I went through the bottom. Okay, and now this is the important part right here. I just looked for my knot that I made and I placed my needle before the knot. So to finish off, I just placed 2 knots. And then I just pulled my needle through the pom-pom to hide the thread. And I just snipped it off. Okay, so these are the measurements for the toddler size beanie. So this will be the measurements for the baby size beanie. And if you guys would like to make this one, I will have the link down below for you guys. And this one right here is the regular adult size beanie with brim. And this one right here is the slouchy beanie with no brim, and it's also adult sized. So those are the measurements. And this one is my slouchy beanie for adults with brim. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it.